Hey, what's up YouTube? This is a health and fitness related video, here to give inspiration, motivation, and information to those of you who are struggling with weight gain. Okay, let's define the scope of the problem here in America. America has about a 40% obesity rate, and another 20% are overweight and headed towards medical obesity. Depending on which source you consult, the average American has gained between 15 and 30 pounds just during the lockdowns alone. The rate of type 2 diabetes in America now stands at 10% of the population, and last year about 300,000 Americans died of heart disease, much of which was preventable. But what if I told you that there is one weight loss technique that is simple, that is essentially free, and that is agreed upon by many doctors as one of the most effective and safe weight loss techniques for most people? Well, that weight loss technique is fasting. Now, fasting is just a period of not eating, and every fast eventually ends with eating something, so I have some asparagus there for you. If you're going to break the fast, you might as well break it with something healthy. Now, this video is going to be an index of sorts. I'm going to, in a fast and furious way, show you 14 different doctors, right, that advocate fasting, and I will include links below the video, so this will be like a basis for further study. Oh, by the way, that's me. I used to be 85 pounds heavier than you see there. That was before I discovered fasting. I've been engaging in intermittent fasting for over 3 years now. Now, this graphic right here is just a representation of one of the most common forms of intermittent fasting. Have you ever been so desperate about your weight that you considered hiring a nutritionist, a dietitian, or even going to your doctor, right, to consult about your weight gain or how to lose weight? Well, before you do anything drastic, before you start spending lots of money, why not take advantage of the free resources that have been put out here by doctors? This video is just here as an index to point you in the right direction towards those free resources. And lastly, the point of this is to give you confidence and to assuage your fears. You know, if I were to tell you, hey, you're fat, just stop frickin' eating, you'd probably be offended, right? You'd probably be triggered. Oh my God, how dare you say that? It's not that simple, right? So I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to point you to what doctor after doctor is advising. And these doctors, what they say, basically, it does boil down to, hey, stop eating for a certain period of time. And links and references to each of these doctors will, of course, be located below the video. This is Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and as you can see, a lot of useful videos. Nutrition and intermittent fasting, the power of intermittent fasting. Joel Fuhrman is the founder of nutritarianism. One of his most famous books is called Eat to Live, and that is a thumbnail of a video review of his book, Eat to Live. Now, I first learned about Joel Fuhrman when I saw his 6-hour lecture series on PBS, and I watched all 6 hours because it was basically mind-blowing, right? He tells the truth, all right? So check out Dr. Fuhrman, his videos, and his books. This is Dr. Ken Berry with tips for beginners on fasting. Facts you should know about fasting. And does fasting help for weight loss? Well, that's a little bit of a clickbait because, yes, if you watch the video, absolutely. Another doctor who advocates fasting. Check out his videos and his information. Here is YouTube heavy hitter Dr. Berg. In this video, he has 8 benefits of prolonged fasting. I highly recommend Dr. Berg. Right, in this video, 23 benefits of OMAD. That's 1 meal a day, a form of fasting. You know, Dr. Berg seems to have a gift. He is very organized, and he has a way of explaining things to make complicated topics very clear. He just breaks it all down. He has the bullet points, and he's just great at explaining things to us regular people. Highly recommend him, and he highly recommends fasting for many people. This is Dr. Jason Fung, Fasting for Health and Longevity. Now, Dr. Jason Fung is perhaps the most renowned and well-known weight loss expert doctor today. All right. If you were to go to your doctor and say you wanted to lose weight, your doctor would probably first recommend that you read his book. And this is that book, The Obesity Code by Dr. Fung, in which he particularly explains the role of the hormone insulin in weight gain and in weight loss. And he also explains the role of things like fasting. I recommended this book to one of my viewers, and before I knew it, that viewer had lost about 80 pounds, right? And I saw the before and after pictures. It's all verified. Now, Dr. Fung is actually a kidney doctor, but many of his patients, their kidneys were damaged by type 2 diabetes, and in turn, one of the biggest risk factors for that diabetes was obesity. So in order to treat his kidney patients, Dr. Fung had to learn how to reverse type 2 diabetes and how to cure obesity. And he did. I highly recommend his book and his videos. Here we have Dr. Jamna, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. But fasting for survival, fasting to reverse aging, fasting to prevent heart disease. Yet another distinguished doctor recommending fasting. Definitely check out his videos. Check out Dr. Peter Epstein, right? Why he fasts, the benefits of fasting, fasting for weight loss. Here is Dr. Mindy Pels with a video on weight loss and fasting. What do you notice about this doctor? She's smiling, she's positive, she's happy, she's in good shape. Very nice shoulder definition, right? When was the last time that you saw a woman in this age range that was not anxious and stressed out and depressed and unhappy with how they look? Well, if you discover fasting, you too can be happy like Mindy. And I have to say, nice silver play YouTube award in the background there. I have one of those myself. And here we have Dr. Nashat being interviewed by a lovely lady. Optimal eating, intermittent fasting, and weight management. And again, if you thought it was just for men, nope. Now this video, it's a kinder, gentler way to get you into the fasting. They have a lot of fruit there for when you break your fast because they don't want you to be scared, right? So if you need the soft kind of journaling and poetry, self-care pitch to start fasting, by all means, check out these nice ladies. And here we have the head cheerleader for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, just kidding. She is actually a doctor. Dr. Vand has a video on fasting, and well, it looks like it has worked for her. I mean, she looks like she could be a pro athlete. Does she not? But I mean, looking good there, Doc. Holla, holla, get at me. No, just kidding. But no, seriously, man, if you want your wife to look like Dr. Vand, what you have to do as a man, you need to start fasting, right? You need to do it first. And when she sees it working for you, your wife is going to join in, and who knows where that could end. But yeah, check out Dr. Vand and her info. Here is Dr. Molly Malouf, fasting for women, fasting and stress. Another fit, positive-looking, and healthy-looking doctor advocating fasting. Here is Dr. Mike Hansen, who has been nice enough to put together a complete guide to intermittent fasting. A long, extensive, detailed video just for you. Take advantage of these free resources. Thank you for putting that out there, Dr. Hansen. Yet another doctor who advocates fasting. This woman is actually the head of an institute that does research studies on fasting. Not exactly sure how to pronounce her name, but she looks to be in great shape for her age group. And here we have Dr. Boz, another smiling, fit doctor that is dressed for the outdoors, and she did the tail end of a live stream, and the topic was a 48-hour fast, sometimes called the rolling 48s. But yeah, if you want to be happy and healthy and enjoy the outdoors, check out her fasting info. Here is Dr. Tracy Marks. This woman is a doctor of psychiatry. Yes, a psychiatrist. And in this video, she explains how fasting can act as an antidepressant and why it works. Many obese people do suffer from mental illness, and you may think that you cannot address your obesity until your mental illness is cured. But what if fasting was part of or the cure for that mental illness? Well, check out what this doctor has to say about that. This is how I looked at one point in my life before I discovered fasting. I was almost 300 pounds. And this is how I look now after having discovered fasting. That still is from one of my recent videos. Once again, if you would like to look like this, just eat a lot of fast food and don't fast. Right? My path was not easy. Exercise is also required, but exercise without a good diet is pointless. I've been doing intermittent fasting for over 3 years now, and it has served me quite well. I also got into calisthenics, running, weight training. Calisthenics is great for the back, the shoulders. That's from one of my recent knife throwing videos. Again, if you want to look like this guy, by all means, never engage in fasting. But, my road was not easy. There were several deaths in my family. My stepfather passed away of cancer in a hospice. And when you see death all around you, you understand that this life is fleeting. I knew I had to take control of my health and my life. And so I discovered fasting. I did my homework, intermittent fasting, as well as proper diet and exercise pretty much changed my entire life. And I would like to help you all do the same thing. So I hope this video has been useful as a starting point for your own journey to health. The most I ever weighed in my life was about 290 pounds. And when I started my latest and last journey to health, when it finally clicked and I actually succeeded fully and in the long term, which I never had before, right? My last journey, I started at 260 pounds. And I currently weigh 175 pounds. And a big part of my program was intermittent fasting, perhaps the easiest form of fasting. And essentially, I do not eat 2 hours before I sleep, and then I sleep for 8 hours, and then I do not eat for the first 6 hours of the day. Now, if you read Dr. Fung's book, The Obesity Code, he says that if you can skip breakfast without any excessive stress or discomfort, then by all means do so. Well, I don't actually skip breakfast, but I do postpone it, right? So I fast for 16 hours, and I exercise completely fasted, and I can run 4 miles on a completely empty stomach and be more energetic and less hungry than people who are eating a lot, right? So, like I said, it has worked for me. I lost about 85 pounds and I have kept it off for years now. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been We All Juggle Knives.